Inside the 6 amazing World Cup 2022 Qatar stadiums. The 2022 FIFA World Cup begins in Qatar, and the 8 stadiums hosting the tournament are being prepared. They are also, to put it mildly, attractive. One of the stadiums is modelled after a traditional Middle Eastern woven cap. The 8 stadiums, the fewest since the 16-team World Cup in Argentina in 1978, are remarkable in appearance. Still, they present a logistical challenge to the spectators at possibly the most contentious World Cup ever. So in today's video, we will show you 6 stunning Qatar stadiums. Let's get started. Number 6. Al Bayt Stadium. Al Bayt, one of the biggest stadiums, will host games up to the competition semi-finals. Construction of the Al Bayt Stadium reportedly cost $847 million. The stadium is intended to symbolise Arab hospitality, and it is built to resemble the Bayt al-Sha'ar, a traditional Arab tent. The furthest away stadium in Qatar is Al Bayt, located 43 miles from Al Janoub in the far south. The most distant northern metro stop is 15 miles away, and shuttle buses will operate throughout the competition. It will also include a retractable roof to block out the heat because temperatures in Qatar can reach 30 degrees, even in November. Despite being the furthest stadium from Doha, it will soon have a luxurious 5-star hotel and shopping centre where supporters who don't want to leave can stay. The 60,000 person capacity of this stadium will remain once the event is over, and it will host both the semi-final and the opening match between Ecuador and Qatar. The only time travelling between stadiums affords a fleeting sight of the area beyond Doha's farthest suburbs is during the 30-minute trip to Al Bayt from the capital. Number 5. Ahmad bin Ali. Originally known as the Al Rayyan Stadium, this stadium also underwent a name change and is intended to symbolise Qatari culture. It will hold matches up until the quarter-final stage. Designs on the facade represent several aspects of Qatari culture and history, including its fauna. It is said that $360 million was spent building Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. The Ahmad bin Ali Stadium, which is in Al Rayyan, was erected mainly using recycled building supplies on the site of the previous stadium. The next and last stop on the Green Line travelling away from the centre of Doha is Qatar Mall. The trip takes a few minutes on a train that is currently full but won't be until late November. Game days alternate between the 2 stadiums, plainly taking into account this proximity, much to the relief of those devoted Green Line riders. Due to the massive Qatar Mall's proximity to the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium, this metro station is one of the few that can stand alone as a tourist attraction. As of early July, the air-conditioned route from the station to the stadium is completed. This summer, the mall will be the only exit from the station. The mall is a popular gathering place for people in Arab nations. This enormous complex serves as a gathering place for people. It has a food court surrounded by a lavish landscape and a stage that hosts live acts. There aren't any bars or pubs in Qatar, unlike the neighbouring city of Dubai, and no eateries here serve alcohol. There are no other places to buy alcohol in Qatar outside hotels, many of which have bars and eateries on site, and the fan zone, which will be in Doha Central Park. One must exit the mall by a side entrance and traverse a few parking lots to reach the stadium. As is typical in Qatar, during the height of the summer, these lots are vacant as people seek safety in their air-conditioned houses. Fans can expect a great environment at the World Cup, which an official spokeswoman described as a unique opportunity to convey a true image of the Arab world as a peaceful and hospitable region. Number 4. Education City Stadium. Al Rayyan, like Al Wakra, is nominally a distinct city from Doha but part of the same urban sprawl. Education City is located there. The Doha Metro is entirely functional. Numerous extended road and highway networks interconnecting stadiums are finished, and new hotels and tourist attractions keep opening. Fans can also be transported from A to B by 800 electric buses. The service is flawless, and the trains run on time, clean and effectively. Yet tickets to the VIP car have nicer seats and higher ticket prices, yet tickets there cost about 50 cents. A famous sight in the Muslim world is a carriage just for ladies, kids or men travelling with kids. Before getting on a train, riders must display an app indicating they have received a COVID-19 vaccination and if guests have passed a current test. There are no unnecessary delays in the heat thanks to the empty tram that runs between the various places on the site. Anywhere in Qatar you require a permit before using a professional camera or video equipment. When the competition is over, it will hold 40,000 spectators before being downsized to 25,000 for university sports teams. The construction of large stadiums that were seldom used during previous World Cups is something that Qatar wants to avoid as a legacy of the event. Thus, there are plans to downsize another adjacent stadium after the competition. Number 3. 974. The stadiums can feel oddly dispersed. Although Qatar is a small country and 7 of the 8 venues are on the metro system in Doha, none are in the heat of metropolitan Doha, West Bay, where skyscrapers rise out of the sand, or close to Souq Waqif, a popular tourist destination. Stadium 974 is located a few metro stops east of the centre. Qatar, which is far smaller in area than Brazil and Russia and needed 12 stadiums for the World Cup, is only using 8. Organisers know the dangers of constructing white elephants or expensive venues that will never be used. Stadium 974, so named because it is made of 974 shipping containers, is the most avant-garde example of this. There are 40,000 seats in Stadium 974. The stadium is hauntingly quiet and has nothing around it but a vast expanse of concrete. The excellent metro system means that a car is not required for this World Cup, but because all stadiums have ample parking, much like sporting arenas in the US, it can feel far away and lonely for pedestrians. Number 2. Al Thumama Stadium. World Cup locations frequently try to include some local aesthetic and cultural components. The nearby Doha Stadium, known as Al Thumama, was built to resemble the Middle Eastern taqiyya, a traditional headgear worn by men and boys. The Al Thumama Stadium is said to have cost $342.5 million to build. There are signs indicating both a VIP entrance and a VVIP entrance on the road leading to the stadium, designating a group that is likely to include royals and national leaders eager to celebrate their nation's success at the most watched event in the world. This one was the only stadium where access to the perimeter was restricted last month. South Asian construction workers wearing blue overalls and yellow bibs were finishing the complex with only a few months left. After the competition, this stadium's capacity will drop from 40,000 to 20,000. 8 games will be played there, including the geopolitically fascinating match between Iran and the United States and a quarter-final. Number 1. Khalifa International Stadium. Near the green, Line Twins are Qatar's national stadium, which will remain open after the competition as a 60,000-seat arena for the national team and other important events. The 321 Museum, which explores the background of the sport, is a component of the Sample Complex. It was estimated that the renovations would cost $374 million. The exhibit's most stunning feature is its autographed memorabilia from well-known figures in many sports, including numerous football greats like Lionel Messi, Pelé and Maradona. It was heavily refurbished to host the World Cup and has served as the nation's national stadium since it opened. In addition to hosting the IAAF World Athletics Championship in 2019, it has previously held the Asian Games, the Gulf Cup and the AFC Asian Cup. In 2009, England and Brazil met in an international friendly and Liverpool won the FIFA Club World Cup 10 years later. Looking at these stadiums, I believe that Qatar 2022 will be a World Cup that will permanently transform the future of football. Stadiums have been altered, but I believe FIFA's selection of Qatar will foster solidarity and tolerance between all football nations. How could it be the world's game without everyone on earth?